What is up, you guys? In today's video, I'm going to give you 4 important money frameworks to take your small, maybe solo operation woodworking business to a 6-figure or a 7-figure business in the next 90 days. Let's dive in. All right, welcome back. As always, I'm your host, Zach Vaught, and I'm super excited that you're hanging out with me today. I want to talk about some money model frameworks. I want to talk about some ways to think about money in order to scale your woodworking business, right? Let's dive into these important money frameworks. Number one of the most important things you can think about is profiting first. Okay, I want to think profit. I don't want to think revenue. I want to think profit. Revenue is my total amount of money that I'm making. Profit is what's left after all my expenses. Okay, so I want to profit first. I want to pay myself first. The most important thing with this is that most people think, okay, get my revenue, I'm going to subtract all my expenses out, and then whatever I'm left with is my profit. That is conventional thinking. That's 95% of everybody that's out there. I want to encourage you to calculate your profit first, take your revenue and subtract your profit, and then whatever is left is your expenses, right? And you may say, well, Zach, that's the same thing. It's a different side of the same coin. Well, it is, except that expenses always creep over time, right? So the more money that you feel like you have, the more your expenses will grow, right? This is human nature. It's something in our personal finance called lifestyle creep. The more money that I make, the nicer things I have. The more money that we spend. The more money that we spend when we go out to eat dinner. The nicer vacations we take. The nicer cars we drive, right? It's called lifestyle creep, and the same thing happens inside of your business when you view it with a normal perspective. So we want to run a lean operation. We want to run a business that is efficient, that's profitable. So what we want to do is we want to calculate profit. We want to back that out of our revenue first, and everything that's left is what we can allocate to expenses. Before paying bills or buying tools, set aside profit, even if it's 5 to 10% and your own paycheck. Okay, so why it matters is it forces you to run lean, build savings, and ensures your business works for you, not the other way around. You're not trapped chasing after profit and having increased expenses month over month. Okay, number 2 is every hour has a dollar value. This is super important. Can't stress this enough. Every single moment that you're in the shop, you need to be thinking, how much money am I making right now? Is this the most valuable use of my time? You need to be thinking when you're on the computer, is this what I should be doing right now? Every hour has money attached to it. Time is your most expensive resource, so you need to treat it that way. So you need to be tracking your time. This is one of the biggest things that we implement with all of our Woodworking Business Accelerator program clients is even if they're solo shops, we start tracking time. How long does it take me to build a tabletop? How long does it take me to build a table base? How long does it take me to prep a tabletop for stain? How long does it take me to prep and stain and wood fill and sand a table base, right? We're calculating and really getting a better gauge on time so that we can make more informed decisions, and we can also create efficiencies and find the bottlenecks and find better ways to do things. Track time on builds. If a $2,000 table takes you 40 hours, you made $50 an hour before expenses. That's not sustainable. You can't take 40 hours to build a table. You need to be profiting around $75 to $100 to $120. $120 is getting really profitable, which is more, hey, go for it if you can do it. But our shop, we always strived for $100 per labor hour inside of the shop. That's what we wanted. If my team had a combined 300 labor hours, I wanted to see that we generated $30,000 in profit. I want to see that we built $30,000 worth of product and shipped it out the door. That's what I was always striving for, right? The last thing I'll say on number 2 here is that profit per hour helps you price correctly, say no to unprofitable builds, and stop wasting time on lower return tasks, okay? So you need to focus your time and your attention and your energy on projects that are going to pay, and you need to focus your time and energy and attention on parts of those projects that you need to be doing. You need to be outsourcing, you need to be hiring for lower level tasks. And again, I say this in every video, every task is important, but there are some tasks that are more important than others, right? So you need to be training and equipping people to do the time-consuming tasks that if you got that time back, you could go start the next build, go market, go sell, go do things that are going to create more value for your company. Okay, number 3 is you need to know your break-even point. This is one of the things that I see seasoned guys do very well, is that they know what do I need to sell and manufacture every single month to cover all my expenses and break even. Not even to just profit, but based on my situation, what is the lowest bar that I need to meet? You can't grow what you don't understand. You need to add up all your monthly expenses, materials, tools, rent, labor, ads, then calculate how many projects you need to sell to cover them and make a profit, along with how many projects you need to get out the door. The other thing I'll say about this is why it's so important to know cost to acquire a customer. We call that CAC. And that's also why it's so important to know your AOV, which is your average order value, right? You're going to get some orders that are $1,000, right? Somebody's come, hit you up that like, I want four or five chairs. They're spending $1,000, right? It's an order, but it's a very small order. You're going to have some people that are like, man, I want a 12-foot long epoxy river table with 12 handcrafted custom chairs, and it's a $30,000, $40,000 project, right? And you're going to have this wide range of all these things, but you need to be able to look at your previous data inside of your business, say, how many customers have I had? How much revenue did I generate in total? I want to take that total revenue divided by the total amount of customers. That is going to give me my AOV, my average order value. If every time I get a sale, on average, that sale is $3,000, or on average, that sale is $2,000, or on average, that sale is $5,000, then I can adequately know how many projects do I need to get. Because if you don't know that number, you can't accurately estimate how many projects you need, right? The other thing I'll say here is that you need to look at how many total customers have I acquired and how much have I spent in ads, right? So if I've spent, say $10,000 in ads over the last 6 months and I've generated 10 customers, well, it cost me $1,000 to acquire a customer, right? If I got 20 customers, it cost me $500 to acquire a customer, right? We need to know what our CAC and what our AOV numbers are. Also, by the way, we want our CAC to be 1/7 to 1/10 of whatever our AOV is. Let's say my AOV is $3,000, but my cost to acquire a customer is $1,500. That's not good, because it means that I'm only generating a 2x return on every marketing dollar that I spend. But if my AOV, my average order value, is, say, $3,000 and my cost to acquire a customer, $300, then I'm getting a 10x return. It costs me $300 to get a customer, and every time I get a customer, on average, they spend $3,000. That means I'm making $10 for every dollar I spend in ad spend, right? This is the kind of math that you need to know. So you need to know your break-even point. Why it matters: guesswork leads to feast or famine cycles. Clarity will allow you to have confidence as you scale your business, okay? Number 4, final one here, is that marketing is an investment, not an expense. I cannot say this enough. People treat marketing like, oh, I don't know if I should spend that money. I don't know. We don't have that money to spend. They see it as something that's they're just pouring money down a drain, and that is not the case if you have a good marketing strategy. Right? Again, insert the Woodworking Business Accelerator program, where we actually help you build a marketing strategy that's going to get you an 8 to 10 to 12x return on every dollar that you spend, right? Good marketing should generate more than it costs, and good marketing always does. Track your return on ad spend, your ROAS. You need to test offers and never stop investing in your lead flow. One of the number one things you need to constantly be monitoring is, am I getting leads? What's my lead flow look like? Am I talking to new people every single day? If you're not, you have a marketing problem. You need to implement either paid or organic or both strategies to drive traffic to your business. I cannot stress this enough. The other thing I can't stress enough is that this is not rocket science. This is not something that is revolutionary. This is how every business on the face of the planet operates, right? You cannot have a super successful business with zero marketing in general. There are anomalies out there that have done it, but most businesses have some form of marketing. Right? They have a marketing budget. They have money that they allocate to marketing. So why would you think that you're going to be able to grow a business and never invest in marketing? It's crazy, right? You've got to market yourself. You have to become known. Your biggest problem right now is that you live in a place of obscurity and nobody knows who you are. No one knows what you do. No one knows who you are. And you have to spend money on ads to get exposure to new audiences. The number one thing I could tell every beginner: if you get a project, any money that you make, do not use that money for your personal life. Reinvest that money back into your business, and the number one place that you can reinvest money is marketing. So let's say you start with $100 in marketing. I spend $100, I generate $1,000 sale. Out of that $1,000 sale, $500 of it's profit. Next month, I take the $500, I invest it into marketing, and that $500 generates $5,000 in revenue. Let's say $2,500 of that is profit. I invest $2,500, I get $25,000 in sales. Let's say even $20,000 in sales. Half of that's profit, I get $10,000. I invest not the full $10,000. I pull $5,000 out of it as profit. I invest the other $5,000. That $5,000 generates $40,000 to $60,000 in revenue. This is how you do it. It's not rocket science. You reinvest more month over month to increase your audience size, to reach more people, to get more exposure, to become more known so that you get more sales, right? A lot of times I run Facebook and Instagram ads to promote the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. That might be why you're here. I'm constantly getting bombarded with people saying that this is a scam, another online guru, whatever, right? I'm not teaching some secret to me thing. I'm not teaching something that only I know that nobody knows how to do. I'm teaching principles that have been in the business world for the last 100 years, since the beginning of time, right? I'm just helping implement it specifically in a woodworking business, right? So we're not teaching anything that's going to be revolutionary. We're teaching proven principles and getting strong returns for our clients. That's going to change the game for you. So with that, your marketing is an investment. Track your return on ad spend, test offers, never stop investing in lead flow. If you spend $1 and you make $10, you don't have a spending problem. You have a scaling opportunity. Okay, so that's what I'm in the video on. With that, if you're serious about taking your marketing to the next level, if you're serious about taking your business to the next level, check out the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. We're here to serve you. We're here to serve you and your business. If you want to maximize your shop as a one-man crew at $20,000 a month, we can get you there. We've done it 100 times. If you want to add employees and move into a commercial space and do $50,000 a month, we can get you there. We've done that 100 times. So whatever your unique goal is, if you want to quit your job, if you want to build a great side hustle, if you want to build something for your family to work and do, doesn't matter. We can help you build a scalable and sustainable custom furniture business inside of the Woodworking Business Accelerator program. So check that out. I've got other resources below. I've got a free ebook, tons of great stuff that you can check out. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. If this was helpful to you in any way, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I try to respond to each comment that I can personally. So with that, I'll let you guys go. Love you, and I'll see you in the next video.